So imagine this. You're flipping through the channels, nothing really good on, and then you saw a show on Nicktoons. Now Nicktoons is a pretty good channel. Even though nowadays you might think that's just where, channels that Nickelodeon doesn't really care about go to die, it's still pretty good. So then you watch the show. And the show I'm talking about is Massive Monster Mayhem. And it is probably one of the weirdest shows I've covered next to nothing. Sorry, most people can't hear my voice. But anyways, so Massive Monster Mayhem was a show on Nicktoons, and it was in that era of Breadwinners, Sanjay and Craig, stuff like that. And funnily enough, it's one of the few shows that I've actually watched that have been in live action. In fact, I never even watched a live action show. I didn't watch iCarly, didn't watch Victorious. I didn't even watch Henry Danger. I was more of an action boy. I keep looking either in the camera, at the mic. You get the point. I'm bad at channeling. But anyways, so Massive Monster Mayhem is a show where contestants compete for a cash prize of $1,000 or $500. But the thing is, the show doesn't really tell you that much, considering one of the many things that can happen is that, well, for one, you can lose all your money. But let's not dwell on that just yet. We have to go through the plot, since this isn't just your ordinary live action show. This is a contest, like Raiders of the Lost Temple, or whatever it was called. So, Massive Monster Mayhem is loosely based on kaijus. They're kaijus. So, I'm going to put some kaijus on screen, and I think I'm going to put all of them on screen, since I don't want to individually edit them. So, I'm just going to put all of them on screen, bam. Hopefully, I'm good at editing, and these won't come out like crap. But yeah, so simply enough, to put it simple, these guys are the main problem. So the big guy, Master Mayhem, here he is essentially the big bad. He controls all of them, and they work for him essentially, because there are some episodes that dwell on certain things, and those certain things are kind of weird, considering one of the episodes is about the workforce and the working class and how they aren't being paid. So they're being paid to destroy the Earth. That's cool. But anyways, simply put it, it's a contest where children, mostly middle schoolers, go up and fight monsters, massive monsters. Yay! Now, you may notice a lot of these monsters are very cool looking. They're very Power Rangers-esque. And one of the monsters is named Diddy. I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm just going to say that since this episode took 3 months to make, I sadly lost track of the meme, and it is no longer funny. Neither is the other meme that was still kind of funny, and now isn't. This video took so long that the load hair fade meme lost its quirk. But anyways, so Massive Monster Mayhem, simply put it, was a show where kids would, do these obstacle courses and would essentially get ready to fight massive monsters. Except not really, since these monsters weren't even kaiju size, they were just normal size, but then, Master Mayhem, their leader, would flip a briefcase or something, push a button, and then voila, these guys get zapped into the, big world, and they're huge. Either it's a teleporter, it's a shrink ray type thing, I don't know. And I don't really want to know. So, first off, this show has a lot of creative things, such as the fact that I was originally going to talk about this, but side rant real quick. I was originally going to talk about 5 episodes. It was going to be some sort of retrospective thing, but I'm not ready to put in all that effort. So we're just going to talk about some random things real quick. So first off, as I said before, there's an episode where the monsters are literally, they're on strike. They're saying, hey, you don't pay us, so we're not going to do your stuff. So firstly, these monsters are paid, which is very funny. And secondly, what? And thirdly, one of the biggest questions I have is, why doesn't the government do something? And you might be thinking, well, they did something in the form of hiring children to fight kaijus. But, think about it for a second. Which will do better against a kaiju? A giant child or a giant fully grown man? Yeah. And, yes, they do have to, pick out specific armor. They don't just fight them, with their shorts on. They just like pick out certain armor, and each armor is something different. There's a one armor that's super heavy, and is used in like the Mayhem arena or whatever it's called, where like they have to go against the monsters, and like they have to just take bombs, and they have to take these little orbs and toss them into like a little basket, and that will destroy the freaking monsters for some reason. My question is what? Because like it seems the show is going on, and like it essentially says, oh, the monsters like are like destructive, like they have no weakness, like so we gotta like fight them. Why are we treating this so lightly? They're kaijus, and they're surprisingly smart considering they have technology. Not to mention the fact that you guys literally have the freaking orbs that are used to kill them, and are just having them sit around, and that's not even the best part of it. Considering, one, hopefully you didn't hear that. Considering one, they just have certain armors, and two, they're treating this like a contest. As I said, this is a contest show, which is really funny. Like, oh, I got a race to get to the Mecha Godzilla suit so I can beat Godzilla, and then win a cash prize of $200. Notice how I said $200 and in the beginning I said 500? Well, that's because in some cases where they pick a suit, and like the suits range from like, oh, this is very helpful, you got like, they have to get a certain number of orbs, by the way. Certain number of orbs, grab the orb, toss it in the basket. If you pick like this one that has like the Samus suit looking thing with the freaking basketballs on the shoulder, you will at least have to get 2 orbs instead of 3. The other one gives you a cool axe that knocks out the kaijus, and the third one is essentially just a glorified freeze ray that freezes the opponent. The third one, however, everyone picks that. I'm pretty sure most of the episodes I watched have the characters pick that. And the reason why is pretty baffling. You see, the reason the children are picked is, I don't know, but the second reason is because money. But third reason is, I don't know. So point is, I don't know what the show is. But yeah, they essentially send the children up. They use this little shrink ray beam that makes them big, and then voila, they transport it into the city. And there are still humans there, even though they had the time to build a rocket, like little booster rockets under the planet, and launch it into space, and put a whole freaking dome around it. Yet they don't have enough time to make the people, like, evacuate. They don't evacuate them. Very, very wonderful. So they send out the children, and they fight the kaijus. And there are buildings that have the orbs in them. One of the orbs is on the kaijus, the other one is in the building. However, there's also a mayhem ball, mayhem orb, I don't know. It's essentially where if you get it and toss it into the basket, it will send out the kaiju's rival. Yes, rival. WWE style. The rival will come in, beat the crap out of the character that they are fighting, and then voila, they just do that, and I'm just at awe at what I'm seeing. By the way, this show is not like CGI and Power Rangers, since like it's obviously a local show. So that means that these guys are actually in costumes as they're fighting children. No joke, they're actually fighting children. You can look it up. I think I have a clip here. Hopefully I'll be able to share it. But yeah, they actually fight like the kids. And I'm pretty sure in the theme song, which I don't know how to play it, but I'll play it for you right now on my phone. Here's the intro. Oh my. Okay, here. So yeah, that's the intro. Sorry, I was just staring at you. I didn't really know what else to stare at and do and whatever. You get the point. So it's kind of funny how they say it's the greatest show in the universe because this show, as I said, was on Nicktoons, which is where most Nickelodeon shows go to die, and it only had one season. It was one of those shows that showed up, was received poorly, and then left. I don't know. I thought it was pretty creative. Not as creative as the games, though. One of the games has you literally fighting for your life to survive. It's something spaceship where you're on a literal spaceship heading towards a black hole and having to press the engines, and like they all have to be your specific color. They're like the kids are given specific colors, and you have to make sure it's on that specific color so that way you can get the hell out of here. And the other person dies. No joke. Yes, kids die in this show, which is hilarious to me since it has a higher kill count than like something. I don't know. I don't watch horror movies, but my point stands is that this show was very creative, very funny. Not really. It's like funny to like a 6-year-old maybe. But yeah, and aside from the fact that I just said kids die in the show, which they do. One of the episodes has you like has like the kids like firing turns at each other, and like if they hit the person's target, they like get a point. But in order to do that, they have to like walk across this lava field to grab ammo and get the ammo to the like blaster, and they have to go through like the parkour, and they will fall. They fall in like lava. It's a lava planet, and they fall. And they literally say the referees say this that they literally clone the children. They clone the kids that like they were that are in the match, and that's their excuse to why like oh these kids are like zero, and like they fall. They fall. Obviously, the children are gonna fall, and they die. They die. They fall, and they obviously pass away because then they said they were clones. What? I can just like imagine the mothers and fathers and the parents watching their kid fall into a pit of lava and then see him get cloned, knowing that when he comes back, that's not gonna be their son. Sure, he like technically is. He's like didn't change at all. There's no like a cool. That's not like there's an extra arm growing out of his back. But like they have to live with the fact that their son. That's not their son. That's like clone number 5. And then we get to this part, which is my favorite part. So, real quick, one of the episodes has them in a sleepover, which already confusing, considering, like, yes, they do have technically home planets. Like, the monsters here technically have home planets and technically have somewhere to go, but they are, for some reason, sleeping over with Master Mayhem, which is weird, considering Master Mayhem hires them. You ever have a sleepover with your boss? I didn't think so. But essentially, they sleep over, and one of the many things Master Mayhem says in this episode is that if they stay up, he's gonna call their parents. Okay, let's get into this. So, in one of the many sections, I'm gonna add this guy in. You see this guy right here? His name is Major Disappointment. Aside from that being a very creative name and him looking like a Power Rangers villain, he is essentially just a major disappointment. Haha, funny, clever, pretty good. Um, Strangely enough, he somehow is basically the son of two very powerful kaijus, and yeah, like I know baby kaijus exist, for God's sakes, Godzilla's baby exists, but like to give that one the doubt, considering the fact that it was like a kid's daydream. It was a daydream. A daydream. Like he is like actually like has parents, which means they have children. They do the plumping puglies. The bump uglies, man. The bump uglies. That's a Family Guy reference. Like Family Guy references now. Anyways, so they have parents, they have children. My question is, considering like some of them are robots. As we just suggested, I'm gonna show the like robots I see. Obviously, we have Diddy on this side, and Robo in this side. He's a robot, but for strange reasons, he's like not actually a robot. He's his own kaiju, but why does he look like a robot? I don't know. But yeah, they're robots, which means they have parents and have robots, which is weird when you realize that one of the characters, this guy, Nacho, I don't know what his name is. He essentially like came from a planet, and he's one of the characters that not only I like, but I find him so freaking funny. Considering here's an image of the episode with the sleepover, and we see all the kaiju standing up, and you can just see how freaking big he is. Why is he so damn big? Why? Like he had no reason to be that big. That was a choice. That was a design choice. And real quick, I think we need to discuss the ending of the show, which the ending of the show is essentially just a compilation episode. But when I looked it up on YouTube, it went from like episode 11, 12 to 102 and 101. I just wanted to bring that out there. But yeah, it's free on YouTube. It was actually uploaded by the actual official YouTube Master Mayhem, Mr. Maximum Mayhem, Massive Monster Mayhem. You get the point. Okay. So this show was on Nicktoons, and it like just stopped after season 1. Now, was this show good? Partially. Were there better shows to watch? Most definitely. But did the show deserve to be either canceled or end? Not really. I pretty sure we saw very good potential, and the fact that they could even introduce more monsters, mayhem, and other stuff. I think it just had to do with the fact that this was one of those things that was just made towards children and like toy reviews. Considering the fact that this was a main toy review thing, yes, pulled something out of the carpet, pulled you off the carpet. This show was mainly to market a toy brand made by Nickelodeon. It was essentially the same as Mixels. If you don't know what Mixels is, it's a brand that essentially Lego teamed up with Cartoon Network to make a Lego set that was like had these weird creatures. It was essentially Avatar: The Last Airbender. Last Airbender. I can't say it. Last Airbender. But essentially, it had different kinds of elements. It had rock, electricity, fire, and then like a couple others that got added, including ones like Booger, or Slime, whatever, and Brown, Eat something. It's like chompy wood. It's wood, and then Magic, and Teeth. I'm not joking about that one. There's literally a set that's all about the dentist. But the point is that this show was mainly to market towards children to buy the toys, since there were plenty of toys. Now I don't have any of them to like show you in this video, but like I think I'll obviously Google them. Here are some images of the toys, and they're just essentially the monsters, because we can make models of children. But yeah, you get the point. You get the point. So this show was mainly just a either big marketing stunt or something else. But yeah, that's essentially it. There were like a couple of things I missed, like how in one of the episodes they talk about something. I forgot what it was, but yeah, there's like a ton of things, like the fact that Dome Diddy Dome, which was the guy that I made the joke of the day, he's essentially a robot that he has like items placed into him, and then those items, I guess, control the robot, come to life, and try to kill people. If I had a nickel for every time I saw food coming to life in media, I would have like 5, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened that many times. But yes, that was Massive Monster Mayhem. Yay! So real quick, if you guys didn't see the teaser, which if you look on my channel, there's a thing called the teaser. It essentially tells you what videos I'm going to start posting, because this is going to be one of those multi-channel things. I don't know if those even exist, where I make tons of different kinds of content. Movie reviews, show reviews, video game reviews, all the stuff. And don't worry, your little head plushie fans. He will be back. He will be back to haunt your dreams. Ain't that right, Fred? He doesn't talk. But yeah, that'll sure be fun. I want to thank people who watch my stuff. Thank you. And I also want to real quick tell everyone real quick. What was I going to tell you? Oh yes. So there's another video I'm going to probably make, and it's going to be very controversial. It's not gonna be like heavily controversial. I'm not gonna like reveal I'm something bad, but it's going to be very something controversial on what's going on. Considering I'm going to talk about something, and it's going to be very very big, be very proud. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, because I finally learned how to turn off my comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Chainbox out.